Here is my weekly DCEU update. All right, I've got a couple things I want to talk about today. I don't really have any pictures or videos to show you guys, so if you just want to listen in the background, that would be perfectly fine. But there were some pretty big things that happened over the last week. First of all, let's talk about, let me give you a preview of what I'm going to talk about. I am definitely going to talk about Henry Cavill and why he is going to be back as Superman for sure. That's the last thing I'm going to talk about. But first, I want to talk about a couple of other things. Ben Affleck came out last week and talked about how awful his experience was on Joss Whedon's Justice League. How he reiterates how awful that experience was. Doesn't talk about anything about Zack Snyder or any of the other things that he's done, not even with David Ayer. This is strictly with Joss Whedon. So everybody piles on him all the time. And that continues. Now, David Zaslav came out. He's the owner, the head of Warner Brothers, DC properties. And he said he does want to build a big brand around DC, and he wants a long-term, franchise going on of very good quality materials. Well, we had the CinemaCon going on, and this has been going on for the last couple of days, and there have been some pretty big announcements. They did show a formal trailer for The Flash, and what's interesting about the trailer for The Flash and the information that came out is that backs up everything that I did a video. My last video talked about all of those bullet points about what's supposed to happen in the Flash movie, and that trailer pretty much backed up a lot of those bullet points. So I believe that information was real. And I'll leave a link to that video in my description. They also had a full trailer for Black Adam, and they had a thing for Aquaman, but the big announcement was that they are going to be doing the Batman 2 with Matt Reeves and with Robert Pattinson coming back as Batman. And I want to talk about my thoughts on this and where I think they need to go with it, and then I'm going to talk about Henry Cavill at the end. But, the more I see the Batman film or the more I think about it, there are a lot of flaws in that movie that really irritate me and pull me out of the movie. For instance, the car chase never had to happen. Penguin could have just run back into the building. What prompted him to get in his car and drive off when somebody's revving their car directly at them makes no sense whatsoever. The crash that he was in would have killed him. The crash that Batman was in the wingsuit would have killed him. The bomb going off in his face, his face would have been completely just turned to mush. There are a lot of things that pull you out of the movie. It's a very flawed movie, but I still enjoyed it. They expected it to make well over $1 billion, and it did not, but they are fast-tracking the sequel. Now, here's what I need to see in a sequel. If they're going to do a sequel with him, fine, but there has to be growth with the character. He can't be as scrawny as he was. He had no muscles when he had his shirt off twice in that film. He needs to bulk up, and he can't be like what they did with the last 3 Spider-Man movies and made him immature and inexperienced. We can't have 3 movies with an inexperienced Batman. He has to become that character that we all love. So there has to be character growth. If there is no character growth, I'm out. There has to be movement forward with the story. We can't have him be like he was in the first film. The first film, I couldn't stand how many times he slowly walked into a scene, and there was no fierceness to him. And none of the fight scenes came even close to anything that Ben Affleck did in that scene in Batman versus Superman. So it's lacking in a lot of areas, and there needs to be more. Let's put it that way. So let's talk about the big story and the main reason I did this video. Henry Cavill is coming back as Superman. I can tell you guys right now, it's going to happen. They're going to lock him down into a new contract. There's a video out there where he just had an interview and somebody asked him, can you tell us what is happening with Superman? Are we ever going to see your version of Superman again? He goes, we're working on that. The person asked him, how quickly is that going to happen? He said, hopefully sooner rather than later. He said, we are talking to the right people. We've got meetings coming up with the right people, and we're trying to make things happen as quickly as possible. So guess what? Henry Cavill is coming back as Superman. And if they know what's good for them, the worst thing they could possibly do is get rid of him. The fans, nobody has ever complained about Henry Cavill being Superman. They've complained about the way he has been portrayed and being this, beat down character and not the confident person he's supposed to be. But he became that confident character in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and there was also redemption for Batman by the end. So now those characters are the characters we want to see going forward, and they haven't given us that yet. So David Zaslav has the ball in his court. And we're going to see what they do with these properties going forward, but we should see some big announcements coming up very, very soon. So they're still looking to cast a person of color for Constantine. And they're also looking to make the Batgirl movie a theatrical release. But we've still got all the crap going on with Ezra Miller, and I do believe there are going to be changes to those movies. So we're going to see what happens coming up in the very near future. But there's a lot of balls rolling at this stage, and a lot, they're juggling a lot, and they've got something they need to figure out, and hopefully it's good news for the fans. Now, there was somebody going around Twitter and Facebook yesterday posting a fake thing from the CinemaCon showing Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 coming to HBO Max. Know that is fake. That is not real. I'm only ever going to bring you real information, stuff that can be backed up. I'm never going to lie to you. So stick to my channel, and you will get all the good information as it comes out, and I continue to do these videos. I do appreciate the support, and we'll see you guys on the next video.